Next day, I went to get braids, and girl, she was bald. I felt so bad, I cried. Okay, baby, so we're gonna get into the story time. I'm not really sure if I'm a fan of this angle, but we're just gonna rock and roll with it until we can't rock and roll with it no more. Okay, y'all, so a few months ago, I got my first sew-in for the very first time ever. I have another story time on my channel where I tried to get a sew-in before about 5 years ago and it never worked out, and I never tried to get another one again until more recently. There was this stylist who had did a quick weave for me, and the quick weave was gorgeous, honey. So I just knew my sew-in was gonna eat down. So I went for my sew-in. So I went for the first appointment. He has a braider, an assistant, I guess, if you will, where she will like wash, braid you down, whatever the case may be. I had already came washed and blow dried, so all she had to do was braid me down. So she took me in that little room and she was braiding me down. Now, mind you, this was my second time here because I had came there before for the quick weave and she braided me down the time before that. So while I was in a chair and she was braiding me down, her and the actual salon owner were talking about a disgruntled customer who came. I don't know like the time frame in which the person actually had came or whatever, but long story short, the complaint of the customer was that the assistant braided her hair too tight and she did not like her hair, like, and you know, at the time they were just talking about how they had tried to like, the salon owner was talking about how he had tried to like appease the client and give her, you know, restyle her and like, you know, give her bang for her buck. I don't know. So she turns to me and she's like, do you think I braid tight? Mind you, this is the second time she's braiding my hair, and I'm like, no, I don't think you braid tight or whatever the case may be, because I didn't and I don't or whatever, or I don't know what happened really, because I'm not a connoisseur in sew-ins. And so when I finished telling the story, all the ladies that are connoisseurs in sew-ins, y'all can tell me what y'all think happened. I'm like, you know, no, whatever, I don't know, you know, don't bring me in it because I don't know. And I think it's unprofessional for y'all to be having this type of conversation in front of me anyway as I'm getting my hair braided. Hindsight is 2020, baby. So I got my hair braided down. I waited for the stylist to be done with his other client so he could sit me down and start sewing in the hair. Now, I had brought my own hair. The last time when I got my hair done by him, I bought hair from him. I was trying to get a sew-in from another girl. This is why it's a sign that I just don't need to get sew-ins, right? I had tried to get a sew-in. I can't talk. I had tried to get a sew-in from another girl, and I was late to the appointment, so she canceled on me, but I had paid a hefty deposit because it was like a bundle hair install deal type situation. Y'all know what I like. Y'all know what I like. So I, you know, still went to pick up the hair, and that's the hair that I had him install. So girl, I kid you not, he was, you know, putting it in. I was like, oh, okay, this is not bad, girl. When he got to like this part, it started to hurt. It started to hurt real bad. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna let my childhood trauma live through my 24-year-old adult body, or I'm gonna say something. So he was, you know, pulling and doing it, and I was like, beauty is pain, beauty is pain, beauty is pain. And then I was like, I can't take this. It's not gonna work for me. So I told him, I was like, yeah, it feel real tight right here. Do you think you could like do something different? Do something different. He was like, oh, okay, I'm glad you said something before we got too far into it. And I was like, yeah, but I'm thinking in my head, even if we did, sir, you would have to be taking this out because I was not gonna be able to survive like that. So he did a little 1-2 and he loosened it up, and it felt better. I mean, it felt better. It wasn't hurting as bad. So he finished sewing the hair in, and he finished doing my hair, and my hair looked amazing. I looked amazing. I'll insert. It was wonderful. I thought it was beautiful. And so I went back a second time to get a maintenance on my closure because I had got a sew-in with a 5x5 closure. So I went to get my closure maintenance. So she peeled off my closure, girl. It looked scary under there. It was so scary. My scalp was so dry. It just looked horrendous up under there. So he pulled it off. He did, you know, he put it back on and did the do. So there, the whole time there was like a little like lump feeling back there, like, but I just assumed that it was like my braid or whatever from, you know, like the tail piece when you got some inches, because I got a little bit of hair. I don't got a lot of hair, but I do got a little bit of hair. So I thought it was just that, right? And so he girl, Lord. So finally the 2-week mark came again for me to like get it maintenance again, which I was gonna do, because I'm like, I just spent so much money, I might as well just keep this style going for, you know, a good little minute. But when the maintenance came, when it came time for the maintenance, I just decided, I was like, nah, I'm just gonna take this out, because I'm done. And my lace was lifting, started lifting a few days after I had got my hair done. And this had happened like before, and I think he don't got good glue, because he be using his like brand's glue, and I'm just gonna be real, I'm gonna keep it real, that glue's not good, because I've gotten wigs installed before him. You know, it's the same process with you getting a closure sew-in or a quick weave. You know, they gotta bond you down, and I did not have no lifting. I mean, that thing was on there. It might have looked crusty, but it wasn't lifting. And I mean, every time he did my hair, my lace was lifting after a while, and I was taking care of it, y'all. And I wasn't like overly putting on the wig band and all that stuff. You know, I take care of my stuff. When I spend my money, I take care of my stuff. So I took off the closure, took out the braids, whatever, took out the sew-in. This whole part of my hair was red. Like, it was red, and it was inflamed, and it was hurting. And I thought my edges came out again. So I was really scared, and I was upset, because I was like, oh my goodness, my edges then came out again. Hold on real quick, y'all. I'm like, it never fails that I lose my blisters. But so I took it out. My hair was inflamed, like my scalp was inflamed. And so once I washed it, it was better. It felt better. And then like maybe the next day, I went to get braids, and girl, she was bald. She was bald. She was bald in the back. She had a bald spot. She had a bald spot. Literally, she had a bald spot. Okay? And I knew that my braider didn't do it, because I had just gotten braids from her, and I did not have no patches in my head. And just like she told me when she was braiding my hair just then, she would have told me if I had a bald patch in my head. I didn't have no patches in my head. It was no patches in my head before I went messing around with that man and that girl. Okay? It was no patches. So, girl, she was bald. I felt so bad, y'all. I felt so bad, I cried. Not at my appointment, because I had to keep it pee, but when I left, I cried. Like, literally cried, y'all. And when I got these braids done, the girl, my normal braider, my like day one A1, she like covered it up, and like the girl who braided my hair more recently, well, not recently, because these braids are like over a month old. The girl who braided my hair more recently, she did not cover up my bald spot. Like, it's just out and about. I will show y'all. And it's not so bald no more. It's growing back. Thank God it's growing back, because girl, I was scared it wasn't gonna grow back, but I don't know if y'all can see that. I feel like I'm putting it in the camera. Can y'all see that? Look, yeah, I'm pulling on it. So that's my month's worth of growth. Spooky. But I said all that to say, just because somebody can style hair really good, or they have like a really popular social media presence, does not mean that they're gonna do your hair good, or that they do good hair. A lot of times, especially in small settings, small cities, stuff like that, it's a popularity contest. And what's so crazy is I went to somebody outside of my city, I went to somebody adjacent to my city, and still like the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, anyway, I said all that to say, y'all, it just doesn't matter if the person has a large following. Large following does not equate good hair, that they're gonna do a good foundation for you. And I'm not saying that my hair was ugly, because it wasn't. My hair looked beautiful, but the lace lifted after a while, and I had a bald patch at the end of it. So somebody not doing something right, the actual attention to the details that matter nobody cares. It's like, yeah. So I will not be booking with Sir again. I spent a pretty penny with Sir. A pretty penny both times that I went. Both times I went, I spent a pretty penny. And I just could spend my money elsewhere and get a better result in terms of the lace not lifting and the lace being more blended, in my opinion, and me not having a ball patch, girl. So I guess, you know, I'm putting myself out on the limb so y'all don't have to. Smooches XO, I love you. I will see y'all in the next one. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Rampay. The handle is the same across all social media platforms. And I will see y'all in a short or a video. I don't know. We'll see. But love you, girl.